Happy Sunday, YouTube. I hope you guys are having an amazing weekend and a great Sunday. I'm having a very lazy Sunday. I did work out today, and I cooked a delicious Cornish hen. But however, I just wanted to come here and talk to you guys about the Carlee Russell case, which, if you're not familiar with that, Carlee Russell is the 28-year-old beautiful young black woman in Alabama who went missing when she was on a freeway late at night, and she saw a toddler very randomly walking on a freeway alone. So naturally, like any other human being, she was worried and like, well, what's going on? It's freaking 10 o'clock or whatever time it was. Why is this toddler walking alone on the freeway? Very disturbing. So naturally, like anybody else, she was like, what is going on? She, went to investigate. So upon investigation, you guys, allegedly she was on the phone, I believe, with her sister, and her sister indicated that when it happened, she heard, I guess, Carlee was asking or, speaking to the toddler and saying, how, are you lost or whatever she said. I don't know verbatim the verbiage, and I believe that her sister said she heard screaming and then the phone hung up. Subsequently, I don't know if it was the same day or later that day, they found her car with her stuff in it. So it looked to be, and I guess, as the case unfolds, we'll see more about what really happened. But it looked to be, that she was abducted. And we know that there are a lot of scams that are going on, people leaving random things in the road, all in an effort to get people to stop and get out of their cars so that they can kidnap them. We know that this is happening all over the country and the world. Okay, so we have a little bit of background of what happened to Carlee, a little bit, the night that she went missing on the highway when she saw a toddler walking alone. Let me just say this. There's a couple points that I want to make. As a woman, I have a rule, unfortunately, and this subject is particularly sensitive to me because my mother was shot with a shotgun. This was before I was born. She lived in Long Beach, California. She had someone come to her door, a woman screaming, "Help me, help me, help me." Again, this was in the late 70s. This is before I was born. "Help me, help me, help me." She went to open the door, and then there were men there with a shotgun. She turned and ran, and she got shot in the back. So I'm always nervous about helping people in distress. I've always had that fear. My mother, she almost died, and I, God forbid, had that happen, I wouldn't be here because, again, this happened a couple years before I was even born. My mom was in the hospital for 3 or 4 months. She was very blessed to make it. And so I preface that story and say that to say that I have always had a fear because of that. Like growing up, we would get in trouble for not locking the door. Like I've always been very wary. I have a very wary personality anyway, but I've always been very wary about helping people. And it's unfortunate. It's like we live in a day and age where we can't help anybody. You see a damn toddler and you have to be like, damn, is this a setup? Like, because it's odd. Like, how did a toddler get on the highway? Like, how does something like that even happen? It's suspicious. It's odd. Nonetheless, it's dangerous walking on the highway. So naturally you want to help, right? So again, she comes up missing, and, I start seeing social media posts. I start seeing like the Shade Room, TMZ. I've even seen, CNN posting, videos talking about what happened to this woman. And I think there was even, I did see the footage of her, or it wasn't even of her. It was just like, it was dark, and it just showed, I guess, when her car pulled over to see what's going on with this toddler. So for 3 or 4 days, she was missing. Nobody knew what happened. Now, today is July the 16th. Earlier this morning, she comes up, she shows up. It's either at a hospital or her mother's house. I forget. I think it might have been her mother's house. Then they took her to a hospital to be, checked out and observed. I believe that's the sequence of how it went. So yes, that's a blessing. She has been found. Her mother put out a statement today saying, and I understand this, we're still unraveling, and trying to get our heads wrapped around what happened. Bear with us. We will release a statement, but please, obviously it was a very traumatizing situation. I think I saw her boyfriend put up a statement. Her mom put up a statement. So they want, some privacy right now while they gather all of their thoughts and kind of wrap their heads around what happened, because I'm certain that her family was terrified. I'm sure that this was a terrifying situation. But I want to dig a little bit deeper and talk to y'all about the problematic nature of how Black women are kind of just thrown by the wayside, and society does not give enough attention to missing Black women and things like that. I recognize we don't have all the details. These details will be gathered, and I'm sure in the next 2 or 3 days we will know precisely what happened. But let me just say this. Where were all the resources that were sent out, the millions of dollars spent on searching for this young Black woman who stopped her car to try to find out what was happening with a alleged or supposed distressed toddler? Because it's a toddler walking on the freeway alone it's a distressing situation. It's very dangerous. She stopped to try to see what was going on, versus the situation with those individuals with Oceangate. The white men, the 5 white men, and 2 of them might have been Pakistani or something. They were rich. And when they went missing on a voyage that they shouldn't have had their asses on, we saw the unlimited millions of dollars that were spent to search for them. Now, unless I missed it, and I could have, and I will retract everything I'm saying if I missed it. But unless I missed it, I didn't see the search crews. I didn't see dogs out. I didn't see all of the resources out looking for this young woman. I didn't see that. Had it not been for social media and celebrities, pushing the story out, begging for people to bring visibility to this story, had that not happened, I don't believe that she would have been returned home safely. Now, my thoughts on what happened, it seems like whoever kidnapped her probably got shook and scared and was not expecting for this story to go viral like this. Probably dropped her back off wherever and said, I don't want the heat on me. Let's get rid of this woman. That is what, and again, this is alleged. This is what it looks like to me. That is what it looks like happened. But again, where were the resources looking for her? Why do Black people, we have to go so hard when it's a Black woman or a Black man or a Black trans or whatever, anybody who falls in the umbrella of Black or other? Why is it that the resources are not expended the way that they are? For example, how they were in Oceangate. That was frontline news. Everybody was talking about it. They had people risking their lives to find these men who made a silly decision because they're bored and rich. But then when we have a Black woman who's missing because she was trying to get out and see what was going on with a toddler walking on the highway, we don't get that same visibility, and it's not right. And I think it's something that we need to think about. It's not like this is new. There's always, every year, there's, thousands of missing young Black women that don't get visibility like white women do. Another example of that is, remember Gabby Petito, who 2 years ago, her and her boyfriend had that altercation. She went missing, and the whole wide world went searching for her. But we have our Black women that go missing every single day, Latina women, etc. But I'm a Black woman, so in this case, this was a Black woman. The same type of things happen, and I saw CNN put something out, but the resources that go into finding missing Black women, it's problematic. We're kind of thrown to the wayside. Nobody cares about us enough. It's scary. It's unfair. It's unjust. And I want to see some changes. So you guys drop down in my comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it. Am I all the way left with this? What do you think? What do you think is going to come out about her? What really happened? I'm curious. What do you guys think?